Hi everyone. So during this past semester, I believe that I have learned a lot and still need to learn even more. But I'm glad I was in this class because I felt like I've learned so much. And starting off with something that I've learned about myself is that something I didn't even realize is that I actually tease my sisters a lot. I have three younger sisters, and I tease them, especially mostly the youngest one. And I didn't realize how much it actually hurt her until I was reading the book. Even actually straight off the bat in the introduction, I realized because she was explaining how her feelings got her as a child, and I told myself, I realized, wow, like my sister probably feels the same way, and this person's already an adult. That means that she already went through her whole childhood and everything. She's in adulthood now, and she is still thinking about that one experience or those experiences that she had when she was a child. So that made me realize something that I learned about myself is that I do that, and obviously that's something that I need to improve on, because now I don't tease her as often now, because I know that it can affect her, or we might not see it as a big deal, but children on the other hand can see it as a big deal. And something that I reflected upon my experience upon reading the book is that there are a lot of children that don't know how to express themselves yet, because they're still learning. That's what childhood is learning about where you are, your environments, learning about yourself. It's overall just the concept of learning. That's what being a child is, to learn. And I obviously, again, like while I was reading the book, I realized that children don't necessarily know how to express their emotions, right? And sometimes we see it as, oh my gosh, this child, he's doing a temper tantrum again. Oh my goodness, so annoying. But we have to keep in mind that that's their way of expression. That's how they express themselves, right? Because they still don't know how, and that's the only way they can express themselves and get their frustration, their anger out. So that's something that and I'm happy I learned, because before I used to think like, oh my goodness, like it's hard for me to admit, but I used to get a bit annoyed at basically why a child was having a temper tantrum, why they were doing what they were doing, and yeah, it was just overall I didn't necessarily like seeing that, and or just not seeing that, being around that environment of a child. But now I feel more like empathy, more compassionate towards them, and I realize that it's something that they do in order to express themselves. And I feel like I'm more understanding now that I know, now that I read the book, and now that we went through all the video lectures. And yeah, and also reading the examples of yourselves and the experiences that you guys had as children and as parents. And also, one thing that I would like to change about myself as a educator, as a future educator, is that I really want to what's it called, work on the way that I interact with children when I'm not at my best. Meaning that every time I'm stressed, or every time I might feel angry about a situation, frustrated about something, I want to be better in the way that I react upon that frustration, upon that stress that I might have, because I don't want it to affect the children that I interact with, of course, because us as educators set the mood, set the tone for the classroom. So obviously, I don't want to set a bad mood, because it will ultimately affect the child's learning as well, and it will affect the child's mood as well. So I want to make sure that I'm a good example. I set a good example for children. Of course, I'm not going to oppress my own emotions, because that's who I am. But I can change the way I react upon those emotions. I can change the way I see it, and instead of getting frustrated, I can reflect on my emotions. But like I said, oppressing your emotions is not the answer. But overall, to conclude, I feel that there are many things that we all have learned, not just me. I know you guys have probably learned so much. If I learned a lot, I know you guys learned a lot in this course, right? So I feel like I've learned many things as understanding children just a little bit more, by knowing that those temper tantrums are not necessarily always just to get parents frustrated. It's because of other reasons of like showing your emotions and stuff like that. And of course, learn something about me, that I sometimes tease my sisters. And last but not least, learned that to not always express myself negatively when I'm feeling like do not interact negatively towards others when I'm feeling negative, if that makes sense. Sorry very much for the noise. I apologize for that. I do hope that you guys enjoyed my presentation. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys enjoyed your semester. Goodbye.